No sales, slow sales, returns and refunds. What am I gonna do? Stay tuned. We're gonna talk about it today on Patriot Picker. Hey guys, it's Patriot Picker and my name is Chris and we're down in the eBay bunker and I got this smile on my face because everything is just peachy. Not. I don't know about you, but things have been really crazy in the reselling world. I'm going to get in and talk about that a little bit, but before I do, I'm going to go over a few things that have sold and tell you about maybe some BOLOs to be on the lookout for. So first off, I'm going to kind of just kick it into some normal stuff, and then we'll get into the exciting things. So we sold this Tortilla Warmer, and I don't know if you know much about them. They're all over eBay, so the market's flooded with them. But every now and then, yours sells. And mine sold for $14.99 plus free shipping. So that's that. All right, the next item up is a item that my wife picked up, and she has her spotty sense. I have my spotty sense. So that's why I like to take her along with me when we go out sourcing. By the way, I don't know if you know this or not, but coming up in the first week of October is the 100-mile yard sale here in and around Virginia. It runs through what we call here in Virginia Route 29 or just 29. Most people just call it 29 north or south. And it runs all the way into the early part, I think, of North Carolina. And then obviously back up through Virginia. So it's going to be an exciting time. You're going to be able to see probably some people that you follow on YouTube out and about making some videos as we're out there. And we're really looking forward to, and I'm going to be joined by Uncle Bubba, who goes by DJ. Actually, he goes by Uncle Bubba, but we call him DJ. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he is a reseller here in Virginia, and we've become good friends, and he'll be joining me. And we're hoping to be able to pick up and meet up with Commonwealth Picker, Kevin, at some point. And we'll probably be seeing some video footage of that encounter as well. So, we're excited. And this next item is where my wife picked up this thing called a Boulder Bra. Boulder Bra. Now, when she first told me about it, I thought it was something to do with women's attire. Yeah, that's what I'll call it, women's attire. But it's actually a kit to make bows for presents and such. And this sold for $24.99, free shipping. Okie doke. Now we get to a couple of exciting items. Every now and then, as we always say on the channel, that you just never know what you're going to find when you're out sourcing. And sometimes you find things that you don't know what they are, and you find out they're worth a lot in value for flipping. This particular item, I knew exactly what it was, but I didn't realize at the time that it was gonna have a high resale value. And that is these Papermate refills, and I believe these are they call them Lubra Glides, and Silhouette Dynagrip 1.0 millimeter, and they're black ink. This is the second set that I've sold out of 4 that I picked up, and these sold for $16.25 plus shipping. So never ever pass up. If you see these laying somewhere, pick them up. Now, Papermate, the company, if you recall from some of my previous videos, you remember we picked up some Papermate made erasers, and they did really well for us. So hoping that, now the black ink ones have sold. I've got 2 blue ink, and I'm not sure if many people use blue ink anymore, but I'm hoping those will go too. That's that. Now, the next item up is, I saw this, and when I saw it, my eyes kind of gravitated toward it because it looked vintage. And so anytime I see something that looks vintage, I go ahead and pick it up and inspect it and look at it and then comp it. And when I picked this up, it was Colgate Octagon soap. I had no idea, what it was other than it was soap. And I thought, isn't that crazy? Somebody is even selling soap in a Goodwill. Goodwill will sell anything, so as long as it can bring them some profit. So I picked it up and started doing some research and was like, what? And found out that you can sell soap on eBay for $24.95 a bar. Yeah, that's right. $24.95 a bar plus shipping. Somebody bought a bar of soap. So, I found out the soap is actually, it is vintage, and it was a very good cleaning agent back in the day. And so a lot of people are after it, and it's hard to find completely sealed up still in the wrapper. So if you ever see one of these, make sure you pick it up. Okay, so those 4 items are what's going out so far. This is early morning that I'm down in the bunker right now on this particular day. So there may be some more things that sell throughout the day, but that's all that we have for overnight and early this morning. So excited to say that, the month of August, I didn't make a video on this, but the month of August was really, really well for us. It was the best month on eBay record for me so far in sales and profit. Now, I'm not going to get into the numbers. I'm not one who likes to brag about my numbers, but I will just say that I think August did as well because we had a couple of few items that were high dollar items that we sold in August. They were, just incredible finds, and, you never know what you're going to find when you're outsourcing. So you can have a good month just because you find something that, sells for a lot. Now, as an average goes for the month, August was, I would say, averaging out, I think I did probably about 5 to 6 items a day, okay, for the whole month. There was a couple of days where we only had 1 sale, but averaging it all out, it came to about that. And that's, to be quite honest, that's kind of where I'd like to be. Okay, so now it's September, and what has happened so far in the month of September? When you see my eyes go over here to the right, to your right, my left, whatever, I'm looking at my screen, my board. As a matter of fact, let me just take you over there and show you that real quick. Okay, so now you're looking at my board, and you can see how many items have been selling so far. All right, and I'm going to stop that and come back over so you can probably get a feel of what you saw on the board and compare it to what I'm talking about. We like to have at least 5, 6 items selling a day. And I took some advice a while back that if you list at least 10 things a day, you should be able to sell, about that average. Well, that's not the case for me. It's not happening on that scale. And then I saw another person talking about you list the amount of profit that you want to make each day. So, for example, you want to make $300 a day, then you've got to list $300. You got to feed eBay $300 worth of merchandise, and that will bump your sales up to about the same, and I'm thinking, no, that's not happening for me either, because sometimes I list 10 things a day, sometimes I list 15 things a day, sometimes I list, less than that, but I try to average at 10 items a day. And so on average, we're trying to reach a goal, but it ain't happening the way that, I thought it would. So let's get into talking a little bit about some of the other stuff. I've heard people talking about recently, no sales at all. Okay. And, these are people who have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 items in their store, and they're getting no sales right now. Okay. Now, I myself believe that there is no answer. I never want to try to give you an answer, because in my experience, there is no answer to why things are like this in the reselling world, especially, on eBay. Anyone who tries to tell you that there is an answer, I believe, is just trying to help you. And you have to take their advice or you don't. It's that simple. And, on a reality scale, if reselling, and you're not making many sales, that's a sign that, you need to shift gears toward, watching out for yourself. I mean, maybe you need to do something different in your life, to help compensate the income level. I don't ever want to get to a point where, if I were at a point where I was not making any sales every day for like 2 or 3 weeks, that would be a sign to me that I need to, do something different besides focusing on reselling. Maybe reselling just needs to become a hobby. And so no sales, and then slow sales. Okay, so sales slow down. Okay, and then there's that talk where we're entering into the fourth quarter now. We came out of the slow time, and so, well, there is slow time, period. And you just have to work your business. If you're trying to attempt to do eBay and reselling as a part-time or full-time job, you just have to compensate around that and realize that, yeah, this is the slow time. I'm not going to put any expectations on it. And in the meantime, while the slow time's happening, I'm doing something over here to try to balance that out. And then also on slow sales, if you believe that just because you're entering into the fourth quarter, that means your sales are going to go skyrocket out the door now, that doesn't mean that either. A lot of people that I have talked to and people that I come across, they talk, these are people who've been doing this for years. They have feedback out the wazoo. And measly little guys like me have 400 feedback right now. Okay, been doing it a little over a year, and I only got 400 feedback. Okay, is feedback a big deal? Yes, it is. Is it really causing your sales to slow down? I don't know. Simply put, what is the answer? No one knows. These guys have been doing it for years, though. They've got a YouTube channel, and they've got thousands of subscribers and hundreds and hundreds of viewer sales constantly. They've built their business, and hats off to them for doing so. I mean, you can't be jealous because they've worked hard to get to where they're at. They haven't got there in some, evil way, and, they should be looked down upon because how successful they've become. I mean, that's they were where I'm at years ago when they started. They were at the same spot. So, I don't look down on people. I'm not jealous of people. I'm doing what I do because I enjoy it. And if it doesn't work, I'll find something else to do that I enjoy. But let's talk about returns and refunds, because that can be a place of bitter content of, I want out. I don't want to do it no more. I can't believe that this has happened. So I sold an item, and the buyer took the item that was sealed, brand new and sealed, and it was a vintage item. and they bought it, and then they got the item. It was received, and then a couple of days later, they send me an email and say, "Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to return it because it wasn't the right one that I wanted." And I was like, you can see through the package. How can it not be the one that you want? You ordered something and you knew what it was because you can see through the package. And this is it, by the way. You'll know what I'm talking about. And so they knew what they were getting. And here's what they did. They opened it. Okay. They took it out. And as you can see, it's a toy item. They let their kid play with it for a little while. The kid didn't like it. And so they put it back in the wrapper and they sent it back and filed a return. It just wasn't the one that I wanted. So now I have an item that is no longer of value to me the way that it originally was. And not only that, I called eBay and talked to eBay about it. What do you do? It was the first time that ever happened to me. And I said, look, they're going to want a refund, but I don't feel like giving them a refund. I don't feel like it's justified because they've ruined my item now. And I don't have to refund them, correct? And the guy said, well, no, you don't have to, but we recommend a partial refund on anything like this. And I'm like, no, I'm not even going to do partial. So I chose not to do a refund, and I opened a case against the buyer for doing so because you're not supposed to do that according to eBay's policies. And so this morning I wake up and find that eBay has ruled in their favor, is giving them a full refund and refunding shipping on top of it. So, who's the winner and who's the loser? It's things like this that can get you down to the point where you go, you know what, there's so much scamming going on. I have another guy, he's in Tennessee, and he's close to another big time reseller in that area, and he calls me every now and then and asks me questions. And he's been getting a lot of text messaging, or not text messaging, he's been getting a lot of emails from potential buyers asking for his phone number so that they can text back and forth some questions off of eBay. And so, you know, that's a perfect example of a scam. And so he's an older gentleman, and he doesn't really know a lot about technology and stuff. And so I've been kind of helping him along, that every time that you get something like that where they're asking to communicate with you off of eBay, you need to mark that as a scammer, and you need to block them, and you need to report that to eBay. Now, with all the refunding and the scamming going on, a lot of people would say, I'm done. I can't deal with this. If you can't deal with it, then you do need to get out. It's that simple. It's frustrating. I myself get frustrated. I vent it to my wife. I vent it to other people that I talk to in the reselling world. And here's what it comes down to. It comes down to whether or not you want to just accept the way that it is and still do it, or whether it's too much for you and you can't handle it. And that's the bottom line right there, okay? Now, I'll encourage you to not ever get out of reselling if you enjoy it, but I understand that some people simply do. Hey, there might come a day where I need to get out of it. You know, this isn't something that you have to do. It's just something you enjoy doing. And if the enjoyment part and the burnout part gets to you, that's a sign, in my opinion, from God that you need to find something else and you need to take a break. I've heard people call eBay burnout, call it the eBay burnout, and, listing all day, sourcing all day, and listing all day, especially listing, can get you to the point where you're just like, oh my gosh, and you just realize that it's like you're feeding this machine because you're afraid that if you don't feed it, it's not going to work out. It's going to eat you. That's not life. That's not how it works. Here's how it works. You're at the mercy of a business that's trying to make money. And they make money off of you listing items and selling items. So if you want to be involved in that kind of business, then that's what you got to do, plain and simple. Okay? If you don't, time to exit. Okay? That's all I got. I want to conclude with something else. A few months back, I got some advice about my YouTube channel, and I made a critical mistake, and I interpreted that advice as something, and it affected in a negative way my YouTube channel. So, with that said, you are going to see more Patriot Picker as time goes on this day forward, just simply because it was working really well for me, and then I backed off and focused on something else, and in the meantime, that had a negative impact on other areas of my reselling world. So, look forward to more Patriot Picker. We'll catch you guys again on the flip side.